Ready. All right, welcome everybody out to our planning commission meeting for February 8th. We have the entire commission present, and I've asked Commissioner Warner to offer our invocation.
We ask for that blessing to be with us this night as we consider the business on the agenda. We may be aware of the issues we need to address. Any decisions we make.
Thank you. Moving on to item 3.1, the approval of minutes from our previous meeting of January 11th. Is there any discussion or questions from the minutes? Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion. Second, Commissioner Cowan. All in favor by yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Then moving on to item 4, this is a public forum. This is the opportunity for the public to address us for any items not on the agenda. There are agendas in the corner pouches there if you'd like to see what's on the agenda. If you're here for an agenda item, we'll get to those in a minute. But if you have an item not on the agenda you'd like to address, please step up to the microphone, share your thoughts. Okay, looks like everybody's here for agenda items. We'll move on to the review items. So first item is item 5.1. This is a public hearing. I'm probably gonna slaughter this name. The Payson subdivision request by Kyle Spencer for the preliminary plan and final plat approval for a 3-lot subdivision located approximately 400 South Goose Nest Drive, and this is in the R110 residential zone. And Michael has our presentation. Looks like.
Before we get started with the presentation, I have to say Commissioner Marzan gets the gold star. Does anybody know why?
It's got something that the rest of us didn't catch.
So there was an error in the staff report for not only this one, but for the next one. But it all washes out as good, so don't worry about it. We'll explain it. And
Are you talking the extra pages at the end or the?
it was a map
The
that was
locator
in
map?
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering. You're like, that's not the area we're talking about here.
It looks just like the other.
So this is the Magalay subdivision. It would entail these 3 parcels here, which are identified here, approximately 400 South Goose Nest Drive. It would be a 3-lot single-family home subdivision in the R110 residential zone. This is what the subdivision would look like. As you can see, this would be a large lot in the back. That's number 3, and then number 1 and 2 fronting on Goose Nest Drive. It has gone through staff review, and I believe all the red line comments have been addressed on it. So with that, staff is prepared to offer a positive recommendation for this approval. Keep in mind that this is an administrative approval. So if they do meet all the requirements and you feel that they do meet those requirements, then it is permitted. So that's the presentation. Do you have any comments on this project?
So are these going to be on city utilities? Are they going to be on septic at this point? What is the
They would be city.
city utilities? There is a where they can tie in out there. Questions? Okay. No other questions. It is a public hearing. So
I move we open public hearing.
the motion. Second. Second by Commissioner Moore. All in favor by yes?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. If you're here to talk to us about this item, you're welcome to step up to the microphone. Is the applicant here? Yes. Would you like to step up and provide any information or comments on this?
Kyle Spencer with Northern Engineering. I'm on the applicant on behalf of the property owner, Magalais. And just to give a little history on this, Magalais purchased this property with the existing home on it, showing on lot number 3. And when they acquired the property, I believe there was assembly of like 5 different tax ID parcel numbers. And they came to me asking me, hey, how can we make this work to maximize the density? And I said, well, most of those tax ID numbers were probably illegally subdivided. So I came working with the staff, and the recommendation working with the city staff was, hey, let's assemble this back all basically into one parcel and approach it in that approach, knowing that the 2 parcels that you can see just behind or south of the existing home, you know, they do not have street frontage or access. So it made just common sense to come in and assemble these together and benefit from the frontage along Goose Nest Drive and still keep the existing home on the largest parcel. Also some history with this, there was a number of previously recorded ingress egress easements that provided access to the adjacent properties, not only to the south and to the east along Goose Nest Drive, because as we all know, that property is so steep, that provided access to the rear of the lots where they didn't have access or easy access to their backyards. But most importantly too, was the properties to the west of this. It's just on the bottom of the sheet where there's also a recorded ingress egress easement that provides primary access to, I believe, 3 or 4 residents south of here, all of which we've preserved that ingress egress and what I call the big driveway. I'm also working with Chief Spencer, Chief Spencer, knowing that he's going to provide fire truck apparatus access up here. I think currently now that he will not, they'll send a brush truck. So on our current plans, we also show right where you kind of see the horseshoe turn on that ingress egress. We've designed a fire apparatus turnaround right there. So that will provide much needed access to not only this property, but also to the properties to the west. So I think that's an added bonus. And, you know, they will have to slightly widen the existing asphalt driveway and then also put a little bubble, basically a turnaround there. And I believe that turnaround, it's a hammerhead turnaround, which then reduced the building envelope of lot number 3. You kind of see the hint of that arc there just north of the existing home, and that will be part of the fire truck turnaround. Yeah, that's right there. Yep. So for a simple 3-lot subdivision, there's been a lot of time and effort and design considerations and also options. One other thing that really wasn't part of the property, but you can see where 400 South merges into Goose Nest Drive, working with the engineering department. We all know, I've driven it, and it's a high-speed merge if you really want to. So we kind of took that high-speed merge out of the equation and tried to hook that 400 South as a secondary road to the Goose Nest Drive to kind of force a stop condition rather than a high-speed merge. And so, like I said, I think with this plan, it's been a long time coming, and this will finish up this part of Payson. I think it's a good plan, and but I am definitely here to answer any questions or concerns that they might have.
Any other public comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second, Commissioner Rowland, all in favor, by yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Commission discussion.
It looks like staff and applicant have done a lot of work in it.
This is approving, not recommending. Correct.
I move that we approve the Payson Magalai subdivision seeing that it fits the area and is a good use of the land there.
Second, Commissioner Moore, all in favor, by yes?
Yes.
Okay, that will move forward. Moving on to item 5.2, are you doing presentations for 5.2 and 5.3
Well,
together?
yeah, we have them
So we just
together.
have to have separate motions.
Correct.
Okay, so item 5.2, this is a public hearing for Red Ridge Development Lot 3. Request by Sheila Michaelis for preliminary plan approval for Lot 3 of the Red Ridge Development at 1130 South, 1700 West. This is the phase of development of a multifamily housing development that includes 2 and 3 bedroom housing units. And then item 5.3, which presentation will be together, is for development for Lot 4. Also a request by Sheila Michaelis for preliminary plan approval for Lot 4 of the Red Ridge Development located at approximately 1130 South, 1700 West. And this phase of development is mixed-use multifamily housing commercial development that includes 1, 2, and 3 bedroom housing units.
Okay, well, that was my fear, is it looks like it's cutting it off near the bottom here. I don't know what's going on the computer there, but we'll get through it anyway.
So
So
might be able to just exit
We'll just try to,
the you don't need to stop share, but instead of playing the slideshow, you might just show it in slide form. Click escape.
do it that way. Will be a little bit smaller since it's not in the slideshow format. So this is the large scale entire development of the Red Ridge area. There are 16 phases that will eventually happen here. Let me go through a little bit of what has happened so far. If you can read that on there, the initial concept plans were submitted in 2018. There was a concept plan agreement approved in 2021, which included this as well as the number of housing units in it. The legislative actions that have happened thus far, there's been land and parking agreements, a memorandum of understanding in 2020. Public Improvement District was created also in 2020. The South Meadows specific plan had amendment in May of last year, as well as the mixed use overlay zone was approved for a portion of the property, which is right up in this area here that you can see. I don't know if you can see with my hand wiggling too much, but right in here is where the mixed use overlay was approved for. And then finally, the super pad subdivision plat approval was also done back in May, and it has now been recorded with all of its various attachments and the like. So this request for both of these agenda items are administrative, meaning that, again, if they meet all the requirements, they're entitled to approval. But this body here, the Planning Commission, is only making a recommendation to the City Council. So in these 2 phases, which are Lot 3 and 4, Lot 3 has 12 buildings, which includes 2 and 3 bedroom housing units for a total of 129 housing units. Lot 4 is mixed use, which includes commercial and multifamily residential. There's a 2 building complex with office retail fronting on 1700 West. It includes studio, 1, 2, and 3 bedroom housing units for a total of 100 dwelling units and 7,544 retail space. So this is the vicinity map you should have gotten in your staff report. As you can see, this is 1700 West along here. This is 800 South. And so lots 3 and 4 are approximately in this red circled area. showing it again, another map of the Red Bridge overall master plan. This identifies the lot count that, or the unit count that would be in each area. Right now, we're just focusing again on lots 3 and 4, and we already talked about the number of units for each of those. So lot 3 looks like this. You can see the various buildings here, totaling 12 on there. And then this also is the clubhouse area down here. Lot 4 looks like this, with one large building here, a smaller building here is what's intended to go, and the rest would be open space and parking surrounding it. So to give you a little bit of perspective, this is a concept drawing of what the clubhouse would look like. And you can see on this map where the various amenities would go. So an exercise room, a common room, a lawn area, a patio. Down here is a playground, the pool, and the clubhouse. These are artist renditions of what the buildings will look like in lot 3. If you could read that, it actually tells you what materials are on there too, but that's the general look and feel of what each of those buildings would look like. Does anyone have any questions so far, or should I just keep going? Okay. Another rendition of lot 3. This is buildings 6 through 11. Going to lot 4 now. This is what one of the renditions will look like. You can see the kind of the brickwork and stuff on the lower end. That will be the area where the commercial space will be. And then this is the last one we have for lot 4 portion. Ken, if I recall right, this is fronting 1700 West, is that correct?
That perspective.
Yeah, I think that's 1700 West. Anyway.
Yeah.
So again, this is an administrative action that's being requested for a positive recommendation is what they're seeking tonight from the Planning Commission, and then preliminary plan approval from the City Council. Staff has looked at this thoroughly, and we think that it's ready to go, and so we feel as if we're ready to bring it toward you for your recommendation, and we recommend positive approval for both of these requests tonight.
Questions for staff? Would the applicant like to address this before we open the public hearing, or any extra input, or?
Just if you have any questions.
Okay, go ahead and open the public hearing then. Do we have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion to open public hearing.
Motion,
Second,
Commissioner Marzan, all in favor by yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, this is the public's opportunity to address us about this project. If you'd like to make comments, step up to the microphone and share your thoughts, please. There was some online. Is there anybody, I noticed we had some participants online. Is there anybody there that?
I don't see anybody raising their hand
No
or
hands.
anything.
Okay, give people just a few more seconds there, if not. Okay,
Motion to close public hearing.
second, Commissioner Rowland, all in favor by yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, commission discussion.
Curious how many studio units are in that.
There was a total count on one of their,
100.
well, no, not, I'm trying to remember where I saw it in the, it lists out the.
I think the packet I gave you might list
It had
them
it in the
out.
packet. I'm just trying to find it because it has.
Sheila, do you recall how many studio units there are?
There's 41 bedroom and 12 studio.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about getting studio apartments.
What is your estimated time frame? Just curiosity, is this a 2-year build out? What's the?
Come on up to the
Map
front,
and-
Sheila.
This is just for lots 3 and 4, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know where you want me to talk.
Just state your name and
Microphone, please. Yeah.
Okay. I'm Sheila Michaelis. I'm with the developer Payson South Meadows Partners. As far as the build out timeline, I think we had, I think it was about 2 years for this build out. We think it'll be less, but we've just allocated that amount of time for it.
Any other questions or? Yeah, whatever, Mike.
and more projects should probably be coming online in that time frame, right?
Right, we are phasing
The
them.
other
Yes. So there
lots
will
of
be
things.
additional lots down the road.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Commission discussion. Thoughts? I'm always just worried about parking. I know the parking's already been established. That's just, it is what it is at this point.
And,
That
and
is a.
just to
major
let you know
concern.
that
Okay.
there is a parking agreement with MTech, and so they'll have
Sure,
shared
parking.
parking. Yeah.
You know, it didn't look like much of any of that parking was covered. Is that true?
Not what I saw on. Is there any covered parking, or everything I saw was open based off the plans I saw, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Okay, we don't have any other questions or comments. Is somebody ready to make a recommendation to the city council?
We will be
For each
separate,
item,
yeah,
correct.
one
So
for each.
one for lot 3 and one for lot 4. So we do need to have 2 different motions. So for item 5.2, we have a
I move we recommend approval to city council for Red Bridge Development Block 3 based on it fitting everything that we've discussed up to this point for the area.
the motion.
Second?
Second, Commissioner Morgan, all in favor by yes?
Yes.
Okay, that one will move forward. And for item 5.3,
I move we recommend approval on Red Bridge Development Lot 4. The same findings as the previous motion.
second by Commissioner Moore, all in favor, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, and that will move forward as well. All right. That is the end of our public hearings. The next is commission and staff reports. We have anything additional from staff.
I'll just make mention, hopefully all of you received an email from Jill last week about all of the projects that are going on in Payson. Just want to give a shout out to her for all the work that she does on that. And hopefully from that email, you can tell that there's a lot going on in Payson. And we appreciate your involvement in all of that. So continue to look for those. And if you have any questions or anything like that, let us know. Also, I think there should be a note going out in the newsletter talking about available positions on the planning commission. So if you know anybody, if you want to continue to be on the planning commission, for those of you, so
Do we know
please
who
make your
seats
application.
are up this time around?
John, Tyler, Jim.
Every. So. Okay.
Any other questions for staff?
I'm curious on Jill, are you seeing construction activity slowing down or is it keeping pace?
So it's kind of interesting because we would expect that residential is slowing a little bit, and that's the case. However, warehouse, office, commercial is definitely keeping pace. So, Main Street construction, our team is actually down here today, actually doing a site visit along Main Street to make sure that everything that they're designing is actually fitting in the physical space. They are finalizing plans, hoping to go out to have final plans for us to review in the next couple of weeks and then go to bid and hopefully have some construction underway in the near future. So those are some things that we need to organize and keep up with so the folks downtown will know about. I'll also mention that Jill and I finished a grant application on Monday. It's been a long week, guys. For some CDBG funding, we're hoping to get in order to help some facade improvements. So just trying to make all the resources available that we can for our downtown. Thank you.
I move we adjourn.
Commissioner Morgan, all in favor, by yes?
Yes.
Lowest final motion.
Great job.